students, welcome to the online session or the subject of structural analysis. This subject of structural analysis is mainly for the student of structural engineering. Basically, in design of any kind of a structure, first of all, analysis is required to be done. If the analysis of the structure is done properly, then the design of the structure can be done properly. So basically, we can say that structural analysis is very important subject for the structural engineering students. So let's start with this important subject of structural analysis. So 3, 2, 1. Let's start. Hello students, welcome back to our session. Let's start with today's content. So basically, we are going to discuss the important things that is required to be remembered for the shear force and the bending moment. And at the same time, we will be also discussing some examples. So let's start with our session. So there are some important things that is required to be remembered while dealing with the shear force and bending moment. Okay. So first thing is start from the right hand section. It is a good practice to start from the right hand section. Use sign convention of the side which you are choosing. That can be either right or left. So sign convention should be shown. If the things are complicated, then use the other side section. If things are getting much more complicated, then you can change the signs. Start from the 0 and end with the 0. Bending moment at the end will be always 0. Okay. End point of the shear force will be equal and opposite to the reaction at that point. Okay. At the end point, the shear force will be equal and opposite to the reaction at that point. Mark the point and draw the diagram considering the type of the diagram should be according to the load. If it is concentrated, then it should be according. If it is UVL, then also it will be accordingly. If it is being UDL, uniformly distributed load, then also that will be its type. At the change in the nature of the force, there will be 2 points in shear. At the couples, there will be 2 points in the bending moment. So both in shear force and in bending moment, there will be 2 points at the change of the characteristics. Beams are assumed to be always straight, horizontal, and of uniform cross section, unless otherwise specified. If it is not being specified, then it should be considered as a straight, horizontal, and uniform cross section structure. Self weight of the beam neglected unless it definite values given. The self weight should be only neglected only when it's a definite value is given. Shear force, SF means shear. Shear force may be maximum at the supports or under the point load or where the shear force is 0, where the bending moment is maximum. Wherever the bending moment is maximum, at that point the shear force will be 0. And similar way, shear force at the point where the shear force is 0, there the bending moment will be maximum. Okay. Where the bending moment change its nature, it is termed as the point of contraflexion or the point of inflection. So whenever the bending moment nature is being changing, then that point is termed as the point of contraflexion or the point of inflection. So let's start with an example. Here we have a uniform section. Okay. The loading in this particular beam is also quite symmetric. Okay. So basically it has two simple supports at C and E, and the loading is being given, means a point load is being given at point A, point D and point B. At A it has having the 20 kilonewton concentrated load. At B, it is having 20 kilonewton concentrated load, and at D, it is having the 70 kilonewton concentrated. So first thing that is we required is we need to find the support reaction. Means we need to find RC and RE. As our beam is uniform, the loading is also symmetric. The supports are also given at symmetric. So in this case, our reaction at E and C will be same, and it will be equal to summation of all the loads divided by 2, because we have the 2 reactions. So ultimately, the total load will be divided into 2 by 2, one for each subject. So the total will be equal to 20 plus 70 plus 20, means it will be equal to 110, and on dividing it by 2, we will be getting the 55 kilonewton. This way, we can say that our reaction at C and reaction at E will be 55 kilonewton in upward direction. Next, we require the shear force. Okay. So let's start the shear force. So at point A, we have the shear force, that is 20 kilonewton, and that is in downward direction, means it is negative. Negative will be above the line, above the center line, that is being denoted by the black color, okay, and positive will be below the line. So 20 minus 20 will be the shear force at E. Moving towards the shear force at E, that will be equal to 55 minus 35. Okay. So ultimately, we have the shear force at E will be equal to 55 minus 20. We have the 20, the loading, and the reaction, that is 55. So ultimately, the shear force will be 35 in upward direction. Okay. Shear force at D will be equal to minus 20 minus 70, means in span AB there are 2 loading, okay, that is 20 and 70, and both are having in downward direction, so they are termed as negative sign. And we have only one reaction, that is at C, okay, so it will be denoted by the positive sign. So ultimately, the shear force at D will be equal to minus 20 minus 70 plus 55, and that will be equal to minus 35. Okay. And next thing that we required is the shear force at C. Shear force at C will be equal to minus 20 plus 55, that is the reaction at C, minus 70 plus 55. So ultimately, we can say that the shear force at the C will be 20 in positive direction. Now let's prepare a shear force diagram. So starting from A, we are having the 20 kilonewton in negative direction, so it will be moving towards upward direction above the line. It will be constant till C. At C point, we are having the shear force of 35. So we have to move downwards, and we have to move further about 35 points below the black line. After that, we have to move towards point D. So again, there will be no loading between C and D, so it will be constant. And at point D, the shear force that we are getting is 35. Okay. So again, we will be reaching to 0. But after that, we know that there is a loading of 70. So plus 35 minus 70. So ultimately, we will be getting the minus negative shear force, that is equal to 35. So again, we are getting the shear force is minus 35. So we will be moving in above direction. Again, it will be constant till E, and at point E, we are getting the shear force as 35. Okay. So again, we will be reaching to 0. Okay. But at the same time, we have the reaction of this 55. So minus 35 plus 55, we will be getting the value of plus 20. And at the end, we will be getting 20 value below the black line. After that, we have to move towards the point B. And moving towards the point B, we are having no loads. So 20 will be remaining constant, and at the end, plus 20 minus 20, the load will nullify it, and ultimately we will be getting 0. So this way, the bending moment diagram is being prepared. In this way, the shear force diagram is being prepared. Now, moving towards the bending moment diagram. So, in this, basically, we have to find the bending moment. Bending moments at the ends will be 0. Means bending moment at A and bending moment at B will be equal to 0. Now, we have to find the moments at the intermediate section. So, basically, we have to find the bending moment at E. Okay. So, that will be equal to 20 into 1. Force is 20 and we have to find at E point. So, distance from B to E is 1. And in this way, here we are having the load of 20 kilonewton in such a way that it will be creating the moment in clockwise from the right hand side. So, it will be equal to minus 20 into 1. So, it will be equal to minus 20 kilonewton. Okay. Now, next we need to move towards the point D. So, again we will be considering from B only. So, we have the load that is 20 kilonewton at point B, we have the reaction of 55 kilonewton. So, these are all the things that we are needed. Okay. Distance of B to D is 1 plus 1.3, that is 2.3. Distance of E to D is 1.2. So, yes, we know the loads, we know the reactions, we know the lever arm. Okay. So, bending moment at D will be equal to 20, that is in the clockwise direction on the right hand side of the joint. So, minus 20 into distance, that is 2.3. Now, we have the reaction, that is reaction at E, that is 55, and which is creating the moment of anti-clockwise from the right hand side, and the anti-clockwise moment from the right hand side is considered to be the positive. So, 55 into 1.3, okay, and that will be in positive side. So, minus 20 into 2.3 plus 55 into 1.3. So, finally, we are getting the bending moment of 25.5 kilonewton in a positive direction. Okay, and at the end, we are now at point C. So, yes, the distance of B to C is 1.3 plus 1.3 plus 1, that is 3.3. Okay, and distance of E to C is 1.3 plus 1.3, that is 2.6. And we also have another loading at D, that is of 70 kilonewton, and that will be having the distance of 1.3 and the load is 70. Okay. Here you can see that at B and at D the loading is in downward direction and both of them are creating the moment of clockwise on the right hand side of the joint. So, that will be termed as negative. And at E point we are having the reaction which is creating the moment in anti-clockwise on the right hand side of the joint. So, that is how the calculation is being done. So, yes, starting with the B point, that is minus 20 into 1.3 plus 1.3 plus 1 plus reaction at E, that is 55 into 1.3 plus 1 point. Now, moving towards the point D, again we have the negative sign 70 into 1.3. So, cumulatively at C we are having the bending moment of minus 20 kilonewton into meter. So in this way, we are creating the bending moment. Okay, we are finding the bending moment in this. Now you can see that there is a point of contraflexion. You can see a point of contraflexion means at we are designating it as an x. Okay, so it is at an x. So basically, we want to find that what is that distance. Okay, it is in span D and E, and we are just considering it at a point A, or you can say at a distance A from E point in the span DE. So we need to find the point, the distance, the A value. Okay, so that can be done only by taking the moment. Okay, so taking the moment at x, so that will be equal to minus 20 into a plus 1, because 20 is in creating in a negative sign, because it is having the direction of clockwise. Okay, so in this way, 20 minus 20 into a plus 1 plus 55 into a, because it is creating the anti-clockwise from the right hand side. Okay, so in this way we will be getting 35a minus 20, and at the point of contraflexion the moment will be 0. So we just have to equate 35a minus 20 equal to 0. So by solving that, we will be getting the value of a equal to 0.5. So we can say that at a distance 0.57 from E, we are getting the point of contraflexion. Okay. So this is the thing. Yes. So now you can see over here that we have the UDL. So UDL, which is having the intensity of W, capital W kilonewton per meter. So if we want to equate it, we have to multiply it by the length, that is L. So by multiplying the capital W with the L, we will be getting the point load, the concentrated load that will be acting at the center only. Half the length of the L, half the length of the L. At the center only we will be getting. Okay. Load will be acting at the center in UDL only. Here also in the another figure you can also see that the same way the load is acting at the center. There will be a parabola in a bending moment diagram and the inclined line in the shear force diagram. Okay, so you can see that there is a parabola. So this was the thing that we need to remember for the case where we are getting the UDL. So here we are ending our session. Hope you have liked the session. We have discussed each and every topic in brief and also in detail. We have discussed each and every topic's practical application also. So thank you for attending the session, and if you have any kind of a doubt, if you have any kind of a query, then you can send me your doubts and queries in mail. My mail is in my YouTube channel. Do check into my YouTube channel, like it, share it, and again thank you for attending this session. See you in the next session. Thank you.